there, all you members of Error 37's official fan club. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Welcome to the newest episode of BlizzPlanet.com's Diablo Dialogue. As always, I'm your host, the Bearded Gamer, Chris Arnone. All right, let's get right into that weekly news roundup.
Stay a while and listen.
So first up, we got something a little sort of tangential to Diablo 3, and that is that the new comic, Sword of Justice #4, is on sale. It's coming out this week. And now, for those of you who are longtime fans of the show, realize we gave away the first 3 issues very early on in the Diablo dialogue, you know, one of the earliest videos we did. And now the 4th issue is indeed out. So now, the story goes is that aided by Shannar, the young fugitive risks execution to find salvation for the city's maddened populace. Now, can Jacob make a difference before this maddening affliction just overwhelms everyone? So that's sort of what's going on there. So if you've been following the first 3, that 4th one is knocking at your door right now. Go pick it up. All right, next up, Bashiok. You know, most of you have heard of him, community manager over at Battle.net, has responded to all 35 of these small improvements, suggestions that were up on the Battle.net forums. Now, forum user Mathest, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, made a post detailing 35 simple improvements that she thought would be great if they were implemented in Diablo 3. Well, Bashiok got on there and responded to all 35. Talk about, you know, engaging your community. I think it's just fantastic stuff. Now, what he said is that a lot of these things will actually be in the upcoming patch already. They're already planned. But maybe, who knows, you know, maybe they paid attention to this and actually maybe you're bringing some things in because of this list. But some things that are coming in, for instance, dealing with the auction house, they're going to have a checkbox for buyout only. And they're also going to have the ability to sell damaged items in the auction house, because a lot of people are complaining you got to log into your character, quickly repair your stuff, log back out of your character, and, you know, go into the auction house. And so it'd be much easier if you can just, you know, sell them as damaged, because really the repair cost is pretty minimal compared to what you're paying for these items. There are also going to be some UI chat improvements and some improved follower AI, particularly the bug that people don't like, where, you know, your follower goes after the treasure goblins before you're ready to really chase them down. So there's a lot of fixes coming. You know, still some more improvements that we're hopefully looking forward to. That maybe they'll come in another patch later down the road. Maybe not. But I think it's just fantastic that Bashiok engaged the community like that and answered all 35 of those. It's just fantastic. So next, and this is something I actually talked about over on my show, The Bearded Gamer Show. Recently, the Korean authorities raided Blizzard's office in Korea. Now, this is just kind of crazy. I mean, this kind of thing wouldn't happen here in the States. But apparently, this dispute was over a lot of Korean players were demanding a refund for Diablo 3. And it says in the terms of service, there are no refunds. Well, apparently in Korea, that doesn't hold water. So they actually raided the Korean Blizzard offices. Not sure exactly what they were going after or what they accomplished in doing so. But indeed, you know, the Korean government is backing up the outrage of the fans over there over all of, like, you know, getting booted out of single-player games and all the other issues that people have been experiencing with Diablo 3. So now it's time to get on a couple of rants. Now, first off, one thing that's been talked about a lot is account security. We've talked about it here before. We're going to talk about some more, because Eldorian and I are pretty amazed how much people are complaining about that it's Diablo's fault. It's not our fault that we need to secure our accounts. No, it's their fault. You're wrong, flat out. Here's the thing. If Diablo's servers were hacked, that would be on Blizzard. Okay, and legally, they would be at fault. Look at what happened with the PlayStation Network a while back when they got hacked and taken down. There's an FBI inquiry, there are class action lawsuits, it's all kinds of trouble. That is not the case. Account security is your own problem. For instance, you know, you have a bank account and a login and password. It's not the bank's fault if you use password as your password. Okay, that is your fault. That is your problem. If the bank gets hacked itself, that's the bank's problem. It's the same kind of thing here. It's up to you to secure your account, to make sure that the password you're using isn't found anywhere else, to make sure you're safely surfing the internet so you don't download keyloggers, and making sure you're using the proper software to get rid of them if you happen to get one on your system. And of course, it's so easy to just go get an authenticator. It's $6.50, or if you have a smartphone, it's flipping free, okay? And some people have complained, oh, I live in a foreign country and it'll cost me like $30 to get it. You just spent $60 on a game. I know, 30 bucks is not as cheap, but it could be a big deal for securing your account and making sure nobody else can get on there, especially when that real money auction house hits, or you're doing all this work on your character and that could just go poof, gone like that. So you really got to think about how much you're spending, or of course, just use a better password. A randomly generated password. You can go to Wolfram Alpha. There's dozens of other websites on the web that will give you a random password. There's also some programs out there that you can use that get around those keyloggers. There's all sorts of options that you can do that are free that can help you to secure your account. So please take those measures. Stop getting hacked and stop blaming Blizzard for it, okay? But we're not done ranting. Oh, no, no, no. This one comes specifically from Eldorian, something he's been talking about. A lot of people have been complaining, of course, that there's this always online DRM kind of thing with Diablo. You have to log on to the servers if you want to play Diablo 3. Okay, and that, admittedly, that kind of sucks. But here's the thing the point that he tries to make. This is not a single-player game. This is a multiplayer game that allows you to play it by yourself. And, I have to agree with his points. He and I were talking before the show about what, the things that back this up. And it's, this game seems to be built from the ground up for a multiplayer experience. It is multiplayer-centric. It just gives you that ability to log on without any friends. But you're always online. The chat is always enabled. It's never like, it's an individual single-player experience that is different from the multiplayer experience. Now, I'm not saying Diablo 2 wasn't like that. Diablo 2 was the same thing. It was the same adventure, whether you're by yourself or on Battle.net. But you could be by yourself without an internet connection and still play the game, and you weren't logged on to any chats or anything. This is definitely built with a multiplayer architecture and gives you the option of just not letting any friends join your game. I mean, really, that's how that's working. It's not that you've created a specific single player. It's that you're just going through multiplayer by yourself. And now this is not a justification for how things are working with Diablo 3. We're not making excuses for Blizzard and for how Diablo 3 is set up. In fact, we're just trying to say, this is what you should complain about. That they built a multiplayer game and didn't think about the single player. It's like an afterthought. It's just something else that was there. Go, well, I guess we can let you play it by yourself, but that's not really the point. And, granted, a lot of people play Battle.net and almost exclusively on Battle.net. But the point remains, I've always been a single-player person myself. Eldorian and I were talking, he pretty much exclusively played online Battle.net. He'd go through by himself, get to where he couldn't get any further, then he gets online with his friends. That's how he likes to play. For me, I'm pretty much always a solo campaign person, and so it's been very frustrating to me. But we want to know where you sit. Are you the kind of person that plays, all of your time on Battle.net with your friends, so you're really not noticing a big deal? Are you the single-player type, some strange split? We want to know your thoughts and some feedback on this whole, this is a multiplayer, not a single-player game. So let us know in the comments, all right? Lay those down. I know this is going to be a hot topic. It's going to be hotly debated. We welcome it. We welcome your venom as well as, your rays of sunshine. And while you're on YouTube, of course, check out the Bearded Gamer Show, my personal show. All things comics, beards, video games. Got a big E3 special coming this week, so go check that out too. And of course, head over to BlizzPlanet.com for all your news, reviews, fantastic community, everything you need to know about Blizzard Entertainment games. We'll see you guys next time.